So I put her into the duffel bag in the fetal position. Her foot wouldn't go in, so I just covered it with a sheet. Then I took her out to the dumpster and I put her inside it.
On June 5th, 2014, 19-year-old Lea Porter of Cotopaxi, Colorado, was reported missing. Her disappearance triggered both a full police investigation and an emotional grassroots search led by her brother, Max. While looking for clues, Max uncovered a chilling lead. Lea had been in contact with 23-year-old Christopher Waide, a former high school classmate. Waide initially presented himself as cooperative, explaining that Lea had come to his apartment, spent a few hours there, and then abruptly left after receiving a notification on her phone that someone had come to pick her up. As investigators dug deeper, they uncovered mounting evidence that turned Waide into a prime suspect. But with Lea still missing and little concrete proof, authorities were unable to make an arrest. That's when Max met with Waide and secretly recorded the conversation. Soon, Waide broke, confessing that he had brutally murdered Lea. On June 12, 2014, Waide surrendered to police. This is his full confession. Sitting across from detectives, Waide recounts in chilling detail how a visit with Lea turned deadly and the steps he took to cover it up.
Are you on any drugs? Have you been drinking or anything today?
I had a shot of vodka early this morning, but other than that, no.
Just this morning?
Yes.
Nothing since?
Nothing since.
Okay. I am a law enforcement officer and want to interview you concerning the disappearance and death of Lea Porter. Okay?
All right.
Okay, Christopher, we kind of want to go back over things, okay?
Okay.
So, do you know Lea Porter?
Yes, I do.
And how do you know her?
We were friends in high school, and we talked a little bit here and there over Facebook.
Okay. And were you in school together?
Yeah, she was a sophomore the year I was, freshman or sophomore the year that I was a senior.
Okay. And what school was that?
It was Cotopaxi High School.
Okay. And you graduated what year?
2009?
2009. Okay. And so since your graduation, you maintained contact with Lea?
We talked every once in a while, but it wasn't steady contact until just recently.
Okay. Explain that to me. What do you mean just recently?
When she posted on Facebook asking for help with something, then I offered my help to her. Then after that, we started talking more.
Okay, and this is all via Facebook?
Combination of Facebook, texting, and a couple of phone calls.
And a couple of phone calls?
Yes.
Okay, and when was this that this conversation began? Do you recall these conversations?
It was my iPad has the actual date, but I think it was like May 20 something.
Okay, and what did those conversations consist of?
Well, at first it was just I was talking with her to see what she needed help with, because she wasn't very specific about that on her Facebook post. And she said that she was being kicked out of her ex-boyfriend's house or residence, and that they were in an abusive relationship.
Okay, do you know the name of this ex-boyfriend?
I have two possible names. I'm not sure who was, which one it was, but it was Jesse Mine or Brennan Wright, spelled with a W.
Okay, and when, just to clarify, when you're saying this began May 29th, is that this year, 2014?
Yes.
Okay, so we're talking just a short time ago.
Yes.
Okay. All right, she said that she was getting kicked out.
Yeah.
And that she had been in an abusive relationship?
Yes, and she said that she needed help with moving.
Okay, and how did that progress from there?
Well, I was asking her, do you have a place to stay? Do you need money or anything like that? She said no, she didn't need the money, but she did need a place to stay. After talking with my roommate, he said it was okay, and I offered to let her stay in my apartment. But after, I think it was a couple of days, she she let me know, I think it was over a text, that she had made other arrangements.
Other than staying with you?
Yes.
Okay. And what were those arrangements?
She wasn't very specific, but she was moving in, I believe she said, with friends of friends in, I think, Inglewood.
In Inglewood? Okay.
I think. I'm not 100% sure on that.
Okay. And did that happen?
It was set to happen within that week when she came over.
Okay. And when did she come over?
She came over on, it was Tuesday before last. That was June 2nd, I think.
Tuesday? I believe it was June 3rd.
Well, I know it was the Tuesday before last. I'm not very good with keeping up with dates,
Okay.
and I apologize for that.
So it was if it was Tuesday, it was definitely the 3rd. I know that for a fact.
Okay.
Is that the date you're referring to?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So that's when she came over. Explain that to me. How did that happen?
Okay. Well, we had originally had plans to just meet up so I would follow her down to the residence to get the rest of her belongings and pack them in my car.
All the way down to Cotopaxi?
No, she was living in Pueblo, I believe.
In Pueblo. Okay.
Yes.
So you were going to meet her where and drive down to Pueblo?
We hadn't arranged a specific location, but it was my understanding that we'd be meeting in either the Springs or Castle Rock.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
Then, out of the blue, on Tuesday morning, she texted me and said she was feeling depressed and asked if we could hang out. Like I said before, I asked her if she wanted me to meet her someplace or if she just wanted to hang out in my apartment. She said my apartment.
Okay.
And then, after she got there, we talked for a couple of minutes, and I took her in my car to go down to Boston Market to get her something to eat, to try and cheer her up.
You know about what time she arrived at your apartment?
I know the receipt was at Boston Market was for $12.59, and so I'd say probably around 12:15, 12:30.
Okay. And when you say she arrived at your apartment, did she go into your apartment or did you meet in the lot? How did that work?
I met her on the front steps.
Front steps of your apartment. Okay.
Yes.
Did you guys go into your apartment before
Yes.
going to Boston Market?
Yes, we did.
Okay. And what did you do when you were inside?
When we were inside, we were just talking. I asked her if she was hungry, and then she said she could eat, so I said, okay, let's go and eat. Then we went to Boston Market. We ate in there.
Which Boston Market?
92nd and Sheridan.
Okay, go ahead.
We ate in there, and I just kept talking to her. I was trying to cheer her up, like I said, and she was smiling, but the smiles never went to her eyes. She seemed fairly distant, like she was, like her mind was a few miles away.
Okay. Did she engage in conversation with you?
Yes and no. It was mostly one-sided on my part. She would respond to me, but it was a flip of the coin as to whether or not she'd go into details or whether she'd just keep talking.
Okay.
And after we were done, we went straight back to my apartment.
Okay.
We were in the living room. I was talking to her, and I suggested that we play video games because I was wanting to try and open her up so I could figure out how to help or how the best way to help would be.
Okay.
So I figured if I could take her mind off of what she was thinking by having her think about something else while she was talking, that might work. But then we were talking like that for about 20 minutes.
Okay.
And that was when she paused the game and leaned over to kiss me.
Okay.
She was very forceful about it, but forceful is not quite the right word, but she was very adamant that that was what she wanted. I pried her off of me several times to make sure. And afterwards, things progressed from there to sexual intercourse.
And where is this all taking place?
It started as making out in the living room. Then we sort of did the kiss dance from there to my bedroom.
Okay. Okay, now the kiss dance, what do you mean exactly?
Well, we were both still kissing all the way there. We were bumping into the wall, stuff like that.
Going from the living room to your bedroom?
Yes.
Okay.
Then, after when we got to the bedroom, that's when we had intercourse, and it lasted for about maybe 20 minutes, 25 minutes tops. And then afterwards, she wasn't tired, but she did try to sweet talk me into buying drugs for her.
Explain that to me, what do you mean?
She was trying to I guess you could say pillow talk me into it. So we were still in the afterglow, and she was trying to use that to her advantage to get me to buy drugs for her because she didn't have any money.
What was she saying to you?
She was saying stuff like, since we've had sex and since we've been physical and since we've been talking so much, that makes us boyfriend and girlfriend, and boyfriends do everything they can for their girlfriends, or everything that their girlfriends want, so you should buy me drugs. And when I told her that no, I wouldn't buy her drugs, she escalated from there, trying just regular persuasion, then coercion. And when none of that worked, I was trying to get her calmed back down and rational. But she wasn't yelling, but she was very acidic in her words.
Okay.
And I tried to explain to her that the sex was an unplanned thing, that was her from the start. I had no other feelings for her beyond that of a friend. And she grabbed the knife that I keep by my bed.
Grabbed a knife?
Yeah.
From where?
It was between my bed and the wall.
Okay.
She grabbed the knife and pulled it out. I believe you were the one that found it when you were looking through my apartment. It was a duct tape knife.
The duct tape knife?
Yes.
Okay.
And she started threatening me with it, and I kept resisting her, trying to get her to calm down again. Then she started thrusting it at me. It was overhand, straightforward. I dodged the first one, and the second time I grabbed her hand and spun her around so that her body was between the knife and myself. and I placed my hand right at her throat. I didn't start tightening or anything, and I kept a firm but not too firm grip on her hand. I didn't want to hurt her in any way. I told her in a clear voice, "Lee, please stop, and I'll let you go. You won't hear anything about this from me to police report or anything like that. You can you can get dressed, you can grab your stuff, you can go right now. I won't stop you." And she said no, it was not going to work out like that.
That's exactly what she said?
Well, she said no, if I can't have drugs, then I want to die.
Okay.
And then she started trying to cut my arm with the knife.
So are you behind her? Is that what I'm understanding? You're behind
Yes,
her?
I'm standing behind her, if I may. I'm standing behind her. She is directly in front of me. My hand is at her throat. My other hand is reaching around her and holding her knife hand.
Okay. Where's the knife pointing when you're holding her hand?
It was pointing pretty much straight up and down, but she was trying to cut my hand so she could get free.
Which hand?
My left hand.
Okay.
And then she brought her other hand to give extra leverage to her knife hand. So she was struggling against me, and that's when I started to tighten. I kept saying to her, I was about maybe 3 inches from her ear, I said in a very clear voice, "Lee, please stop, let the knife go, and I'll let you go. I'll walk out to the patio. You can get your stuff, you can leave. Just please stop struggling." And every time I asked her to stop struggling, she would shake her head no. Then I asked her, I think probably about 7 or 8 times. And she was struggling so hard that I thought that she would go unconscious and her muscles would relax. And was my understanding of what happens when you're unconscious is that your muscles relax, and that I could just gently lower the knife away from her, then get it away from her, leave her put her on the bed, then let her come to and ask her to leave.
What would cause her to go unconscious?
I was physically squeezing on her throat at this point.
So what the struggle is she's struggling against you choking her, if I understand you correctly?
No, I don't know what was going through her mind, but it was that I wasn't going to buy her drugs, so she was very, I guess, angry at me. And I didn't know that her depression had been that deep. And I saw the depression in her eyes, but it was a surprise to me to see her like that.
Okay, so you have one hand on her throat, the other hand on her hand.
On her
the
wrist.
Knife, the hand is holding the
Yes,
knife.
I'm holding it firmly, but not squeezing it.
But you're squeezing her throat.
Yes.
Why?
She was trying to cut me, and then after that, she had made it very clear that she meant me physical harm and possibly death.
So what was your
Correct.
intent by squeezing her throat? What was your goal?
And I was trying to diffuse the situation through only that force which was necessary to ensure her compliance. So as she was struggling, that's when I started tightening more and more. Then it was purely reaction on my part as to she was controlling what was happening. She had the knife, she was struggling against me. I made it very clear to her that she was free to, if she dropped the knife, she was free to go. I would not talk to her again. I would wait outside, she would get her stuff, she would leave. And I guess I wasn't paying attention after a while because the adrenaline was getting to me or something. I didn't notice her stop shaking her head. but I did notice that she was still struggling against my hand, because I was pushing down, I don't think she was pushing up anymore, but she wasn't letting her hand drop.
Which hand?
It was her knife hand.
Okay.
And her other hand was still supporting her knife hand.
Okay.
And then after a while, it was just like a rubber band snapped. Her muscles went lax all of a sudden, and it brought and I wasn't expecting it, so I had the sort of reaction thing and jerked it, and it cut her along her sternum. But then after that, I let go, and I brought her to the floor. I laid her back down to the floor and turned her head so that, because she was bleeding from her nose and mouth, I noticed that. I turned her head to the side so that blood would drain out, and to give her the opportunity to start breathing again, because at that point I thought that she was just unconscious and that it had taken a while for her muscles to catch up. And when she wasn't, and I went out and tried to clear my head in the living room, but I came in a couple minutes later, she hadn't moved, so I checked her pulse. I first checked on the wrists, then afterwards, when I didn't find it on the wrists, I checked on her underarms as well as her inner thighs, and I didn't find any evidence of life, and I panicked.
At this point, do you wish to continue to speak?
It's yes. I guess the medical term for it was that I was in a state of shock.
Okay.
I went into the bathroom and I was huddled under a running shower for about 15 or 20 minutes. And after that time had elapsed, I had somewhat regained coherence to where I could mentally assess the situation and try and figure out what to do next. To my mind, and even right now, the truth wasn't and still isn't very believable even to me. And
Explain that to me.
I was the only witness. No one else really saw Lea and I together except for at Boston Market. So it seemed to me that calling the police and telling them what happened wasn't the best idea, because because I was the only witness, as well as the person that not murdered her but was responsible for her death. And I thought that they would take her side over my story, since she was dead and there was evidence of a struggle. I thought that they would assume that I raped her. And it's a logical assumption considering her size. She was very small. I was afraid to speak above my normal tone to her in fear that I might break something. And it seemed to me the better option to lie about it.
So what happened once you gathered yourself, so to speak?
I reclothed her and I placed her on the bed while I was figuring out what to do next. I started off gathering her belongings from where they were in the living room and bringing them into my bedroom. And then I took a duffel bag from my closet. It was a black duffel bag, probably about, I don't know, maybe yay long. I noticed that she had blood on the sheets, so I rolled her, I picked her up and placed her on her back on the floor again. I cleaned up the blood from her chest wound. It had just pierced the skin, so there wasn't much blood there, but there was some coming from her nose and mouth. So I took some rags and I cleaned up her nose and mouth and the wound around her chest. Then I folded up the sheets part way in to the bag. The majority of it would have been under her. Then I took the rags and I placed them in a grocery bag. I took a couple of those odor scent trash bags. I tore the bottoms out of them. Then I placed them over the sheet. I placed Lee in on top of the bag, on top of the trash bags, but I couldn't fit her all the way in. I tried a couple of different ways, but the best I could do was leave her foot hanging out. And I didn't want to disrespect her any further than I was already doing by trying to hide what I had done. So I just left her foot there. I covered her head with a trash bag. Then I tore out the top, or the bottom of another trash bag, and that was when my roommate came in. The fifth trash bag I just placed on her, then I put the sheet over and tucked it into the bag and covered her foot with the sheet, and I greeted my roommate and let him know that I had a guest over and that she was sleeping.
Okay. Who is your roommate?
His name is Jesse Williams.
Okay, go ahead, continue.
Okay. And he said that was fine with him, that I had a guest over. I didn't really have very many guests over often, so he said that was fine, but he kind of griped a little bit at me for not warning him that there was someone over, or for not letting him know.
Mm-hmm.
Then after that kind of disrupted my plans again, because I wasn't expecting him home so soon. I think he came home around 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon that day. I wasn't expecting him home so soon, so that kind of disrupted my plan of how to get rid of her.
What was your original plan?
I was going to drive to a different lot. Wasn't sure where, but it was going to be outside of Westminster, and then I was going to dump her body in a dumpster.
Okay.
So my roommate being there kind of dampened that, because he would have gotten suspicious if I was away for a long period of time. I don't normally do something like that. So I decided then to play the waiting game with him. I was going to wait till he went to sleep and then take her body out and drive in the car. But when 3:30, 3:45 in the morning rolled around, he was still awake, so I decided to take my chances with it. I zipped up the bag as best I could, and then I picked up the bag. I made sure I kept line of sight between her foot and my roommate out of view, and he probably might not have seen me if I had left, but I just wanted to make sure and said I was just going to take some stuff out to my car. Then I took the duffel bag to the dumpster. Let's see, If I was facing out towards Federal, it would be the dumpster to the right of my apartment building.
Okay.
And I put her in the dumpster, and the grocery bag with the rags I'd used to clean her up was in the duffel bag with her.
Okay, so how did you get her in this duffel bag?
I picked her up and I physically put her into the duffel bag.
Okay, she's 5'5".
Yeah,
How big is
I
this
curled
duffel?
her up.
I'm sorry?
I curled her up so she was in the fetal position,
Okay.
and I couldn't get one of her feet to fit in, so I just left it out, like I said.
What does this duffel bag look like?
It's black, and it's missing the shoulder strap, but it has a partially torn handhold. The other one's fully sewn on, but the sewing was coming off on half of the other one. So I put her into the duffel bag in the fetal position. Her foot wouldn't go in, so I just covered it with a sheet. Then I took her out to the dumpster and I put her inside it.
Well, I'm trying to find this duffel bag later. I just want to make sure we know what
Yes.
we're looking for.
So
Describe it as best you can to me. What does it look like?
it's completely black. There's I think chrome or steel loops on the ends to make sure that for the
Does it have a name or any writing on the outside of it or
No.
anything? Is it just solid black?
yes,
Where'd you get it at? Do you remember?
it was from when I was in the army.
It's a military issue?
No.
Or something you got while you were in the army?
Yeah, they had me moving barracks around a lot, so I needed an extra duffel bag, so I went and bought one.
Canvas like a sea bag, or what's the material?
I think it's canvas.
Is your name on it? Since it's military, we usually used to label stuff in the military.
There was a label on the handhold, but it was black, so I didn't really know what to do with that. So I just had a label rubber banded to the handhold, but I took that off and threw it away.
Prior to putting her in the dumpster?
Yeah, after I'd gotten out of the military.
Okay, so there was no identifying information on it?
No.
Okay.
This black duffel bag, then, did you put anything else in the bag with her body, or just
It
what
was
was in there?
everything that I just told you was all that was in there.
So
There
the
was,
grocery bag full of all the other stuff is in the duffel bag too?
to my knowledge, yes.
So her, the rags,
The rags, the sheet is laying underneath, should be laying underneath two trash bags with the bottoms torn out, and then it should be looped over on top of her.
So, did you, after you clothed her, did you slide the now bags with the bottomless bags over her body?
No.
So you just laid them,
Yes, I laid them as flat out as possible within the duffel bag. And then
so
I
you
placed it
lined
on
the
top.
bag with, you lined the bags, or you lined the duffel bag with the trash bags, if I'm
Yes.
saying it correctly.
Yes,
Okay, what color are those trash bags?
they're white with red pull strings.
Where'd you purchase them
The King Supers on 104th and Federal.
at? Did you make any effort to clean the body at all?
Yes, I did.
What did you do?
I just cleaned up the blood.
About any evidence that you had sex with her? Did you try to do anything to maybe hide the DNA or anything like that?
I probably, if I was wanting to do it believably, I probably should have done that, but I didn't.
Okay, so from what you've told us, you wiped the blood off the body with some rags.
Yes.
What color are those rags?
Most of them were just scraps of cloth from, and I enjoy sewing sometimes, so most of them were just some cloth scraps. And I wiped the blood up with those, but there was a green rag. It had, I think, white stitching around the outside.
Okay, and all those went into a grocery bag?
Yeah, it was a King Soopers grocery bag.
Can you describe the injury to her sternum to me? What's that gonna look like when I find her?
Okay, it was just pretty much straight up and down, about like here on her, maybe an inch and a half long, but it wasn't very deep, and it pierced the skin, but other than that, that was it.
And at some point, you said she had blood coming from her nose and her mouth?
Yes.
How much blood came out, do you know?
There was I don't know, maybe probably about that big. And I had a spare sheet that I was using as a second carpet, if you will, under, and most of the blood I picked up with that when I picked it up and got rid of it, but there was still blood that had stained through. And
Stained onto what?
onto the actual carpet.
Oh, on the carpet?
Yeah, stained through the sheet onto the actual carpet.
Did you make an effort to try to clean up that apartment then and the blood and stuff?
Yes, I did.
What'd you do?
My roommate had asked me to go across the street to get him a drink, so I went across the street, got him a drink, and while I was there, I picked up a bottle of bleach and a pair of rubber gloves. Then
When did he ask you to do this?
it was after I got back into the room.
So when Lopez was there earlier this week and found that knife, is that the knife you're talking about? The
Yes.
one that he found?
Yes, it is.
Did you clean that knife?
I did, but I didn't clean the inside of the sheath. So
what do you make of that? What do you mean?
well, I originally put it away and it had her blood on it. So
So you're thinking her blood might still be on the inside of the sheath? Is that what
It
you're
could
telling
be.
us? Could be.
yeah, I'm not
What'd you
sure.
clean it with?
I cleaned the entire blade with bleach.
This was the bleach that you bought, you went over and got?
Yes,
Did you have to go purchase that
yes, I paid cash for it though.
at the 7-Eleven over there?
Yes,
So you went to 7-Eleven and got what?
I got, I think it was a Mountain Dew, a can of Mountain Dew or something for my roommate, and then I bought rubber gloves and the bottle of bleach.
What color are the gloves?
They were yellow. I believe they were taken as evidence on Monday when my apartment was being searched.
Those were the same gloves?
Yes.
Why didn't you get rid of those?
I figured with the bleach on them that would, and since there was bleach on the scrub pad that I used, as well as the bleach beside that, that should take care of it.
Hide the DNA evidence type stuff?
What was your goal for using the bleach?
I just wanted to get the blood stains out and hide the DNA evidence that there had been a altercation.
Okay.
When did you actually clean the knife off?
It was, I think it was like Friday afternoon.
So it sat in the sheath bloody
Yes,
for
for a few days, but in everything else
So did Jesse Williams, your roommate, know anything about what was going on?
he knew that there was a girl that I was going to help move. Then he knew that there was a girl there when I told him, but I didn't really share very much information with him on that.
By the time he got home,
Yes,
she was already dead.
yes, she was.
Does he have any? I'm sorry, man.
I was just gonna... You go first.
Did he have any knowledge of what happened to this girl?
Not to my knowledge, no.
Okay.
So you're saying that you took her out and put her inside the trash dumpster, and did it have a lid on it that you had to open and close, or
No.
just...
There was no lid on it, but I basically put her in there. Then I tried to, I guess, camouflage it in there with some of the bags around.
Were you afraid that maybe somebody might find it?
Honestly, I'm still pretty freaked out, but Yeah, I was.
So earlier you said when she showed up and you guys had the sex and then why do you think she had sex with you?
Well, I think that she was, and I don't know for sure, but I think that she was high when she had got to my apartment and that she was coming down, and since she was broke and didn't have a job anymore, and since her boyfriend had kicked her out and she didn't have any money for drugs, so she was, I guess, kind of scared of coming down.
So she, after you got done, wanted
Yeah,
you
she
to
was-
get her something.
Yes.
What, can you remember the exact words that she used? Or to the best of your knowledge, can you remember what she said?
It was, she started by saying, you know, stuff like that was awesome. I've never had it that good before. I think she was trying to butter me up to it. And we had pillow talk, I don't know, for maybe about 5 minutes, just sort of basking in the afterglow.
So what did she ask you to buy?
She said that she knew someone, and that she knew someone who could get her the drugs she was, get her drugs. I believe she meant heroin.
Did she say what drugs she wanted you to get?
She just said she wanted me to buy her drugs.
She used the word drugs.
Yes.
Okay. And you thought she meant heroin?
Yeah, because that's what she had told me that she was using, so I figured that was what she meant.
Did you, now the story you told us first off, if you remember, is that you cut yourself with a knife. Do you have any injuries?
I said that I cut myself previously with the knife,
Right.
but
Yeah,
that was
that's what I
a
meant.
while before,
Yeah.
and yeah, it was, like I said, it was a really small injury, but it bled on the knife, so I figured better safe than sorry.
This was an injury that happened before she showed up.
Yes.
During this whole time together with her, did she leave any injuries on you?
She left some scratch marks on my back from when we were having sex, but other than that, no.
That was more
Yeah.
ecstasy type scratch marks as
Yes.
opposed to I'm angry at you, get me off type scratch marks?
Yeah.
Okay. During the struggle with the knife, were you cut or hurt at all?
No. I can't really explain it, but it seemed like she was kind of sluggish with it. Like she didn't really know what she was doing. So I sidestepped it, and it went.
So where do you think she's at right now?
I think that after the garbage truck came, that she went with it to the dump.
Did you actually watch the dump truck pick her up and
No,
take her away?
no, I was being very nervous and paranoid. I didn't want to change anything in my daily schedule to give anyone that knew me any idea that something was wrong, was the matter.
Sure. She shows up on Tuesday. This thing happens Tuesday afternoon, and then what
Yes.
time was it that you think you might have taken her to the dump or the dumpster?
About 3:30, 3:45 the next morning.
A.M.
Yes,
Then that would have been Wednesday.
yes,
So Tuesday and Wednesday are your normal class days, right?
yes.
Did you go to school on Tuesday?
No, I did not. And I stayed out of school on Wednesday as well.
Did you? Why didn't you go to school on Tuesday?
Well, it's evening classes, so, and I didn't want to leave my roommate in there with Lee for 4 hours. I didn't want to risk that.
What would be the risk?
Well, honestly, I don't know, but I didn't want to take, I was being very paranoid at the time and didn't want to take any precautions or any unnecessary risks.
One of the things that we didn't really cover before we started this whole interview tonight,
Yes.
and before you calling the dispatcher, did you feel pressured by anybody to call us, or was that a decision that you made on your own?
I was intending on coming to you with this before, after I consulted with Mr. Regensberger to find the best way to go about doing that. But then when Lee and her friends, or when Max and some other of Lee's friends showed up,
Did they just show up at random tonight?
well, I had been expecting Max and Jesse, but
How long have you been expecting them? I mean, how did you know that they were going to show?
and we were texting, and they said they wanted to have me do a tarot reading for them, and I said that they could come over, but that I would rather not discuss the case any further with them. And afterwards, when Jesse came in, we were talking. I was as open with him as possible. I didn't really start sharing with him until after we went to the park. And
So you went to a park after they showed up?
yeah,
tonight?
it was on Perry Street.
How did you get there?
I drove in my car, then they had their car, so they followed me.
I see. So you went to a park tonight with these other 4 individuals?
Yes.
So we're talking Jesse, Max,
Jesse, Max,
and this Jesse we're talking about isn't Jesse Williams' roommate, it's
no,
Jesse
it's
mine.
Jesse mine, yes. And there was 2 others, I don't know one of their names, but another of my friends from high school. It was a girl named Angela Porter.
Angel Porter?
Angela.
Angela Porter?
Yes.
In relation to Lea Porter?
Sorry, Hutchins, not Porter.
Yeah. And you don't know the 4th person?
No,
Is it
I don't.
male or female?
Male.
Another male?
Yeah, I didn't know his name.
So they wanted you to do a tarot reading for them, that was the purpose for them getting together with you?
Yeah, then we ended up talking about that. The subject ended up being brought up by them, and
What subject?
of the case and her disappearance.
Okay, so you're at the park now and the
Yes.
subject comes up?
Yeah, the subject
What did you
came
tell
up.
them?
I was very hesitant at first, but from the looks on their faces, it looked like they were teetering on the knife's edge. So I decided to just come out and tell them the truth.
And what did you tell them?
Exactly what I just told you, and I didn't go into quite as much detail, but
Well, I want to clarify and make sure, did you feel that there was any police pressure or intimidation or anything to get you to come to the police department tonight?
no.
So there was no,
I was planning on coming.
that was something you had intended to do on your own?
Yes.
And that was something that you did after consulting with your attorney?
Yes. I was.
And at this point, I'm going to caution you not
Okay.
to tell anything that we discuss, but you can certainly
Okay.
discuss what your plan was.
Yeah. I was waiting on his phone call for advice on the best way to proceed before I came in, but
Sure.
I was planning and fully intending on coming in.
Did you tell anybody besides your counselor here about what had happened?
About what I just told you? I told that to the 4 that I previously referenced. So it was Max,
No,
Jesse.
I don't mean the
yeah.
people tonight.
Other than that,
Prior to tonight,
No.
have you have you told anybody about this account of what happened?
no. This is the first time. Well,
So when you left the police
technically
department
third,
Tuesday, after talking with Detective Lopez,
yes.
you went to your school.
Yeah, I walked to school.
Did you go in and talk to anybody in there and tell them anything?
I went in to see the criminal justice program chair. His name's Gary Gorup, and I gave him the basics of and just bare minimum of the situation. You know, I brought him somewhat up to speed on there was a missing girl, that I had something to do with her disappearance, and that I had covered it up. And I asked for I asked if he could recommend a lawyer to me that I could talk to.
Did you tell him that you'd killed her?
No, I did not. I just said I just told him that I had something to do with her disappearance. More than what I had previously told the police.
Sure. And this might seem a little bit bizarre to you, but are you under any kind of a treatment for mental health issues right now?
No,
Have you ever been?
I have, but honestly it was because I was having nightmares in the army, and the doctors there were more concerned about getting me a full night's sleep and making sure that I was fit for duty than they were about my mental health.
In fact, right now you're enrolled in a college program, right, at the
Yes.
Redress College, and you're taking criminal justice classes?
Yes, I am.
Okay, how are your grades?
For the past 2 terms, I've been on the president's list with very good attendance. And this term, I'm thinking it'll probably be dean's list, but also decent attendance.
Do you feel like you're mentally stable?
Yes, I do.
Do you hear voices?
No, but the main factor in me deciding to come forward with the truth is somewhat bizarre.
I'm gonna ask you
Yeah.
again to
Okay.
not reveal any further details.
Alright, but I prefer to keep that to myself for now.
Okay, I understand. I guess what I'm trying to get at is just as if you get any
Yeah.
mental health issues that we need to be aware of.
Apart-
Are you suicidal?
No.
Have you thought about killing yourself at all over this thing?
Over this thing, I thought about it briefly, but my point of view is that the easiest course of action is very rarely the right course of action.
Have you ever been diagnosed with any mental condition?
Again, I'm gonna ask you to not respond.
Not to my knowledge, no.
Are you aware of reality?
Yes,
Do you know where you are right now?
I'm in the Westminster Police Department in an interrogation room.
Okay, do you know what today's day is?
It's the 12th
Of?
of June,
Who's the president of the United States?
Barack Obama.
Okay. What courses are you taking in school?
The courses I'm taking this term are college algebra. I'm taking that on Monday nights. On Tuesday nights, I have introductions to interviews and interrogations. Wednesday nights, I have applied business law. And on Thursday nights, I have criminal procedure and the Constitution.
Okay. Pretty heavy class load.
Yeah, but I enjoy the work.
And again, just one of the things I want to clarify, are you taking prescription medication right now?
No, I'm not. I haven't for about 3 years.
Can you cope without medication?
Yes.
Do you smoke marijuana?
No.
Changing the subject here.
Okay.
You said you redressed Lee. What did you dress her in? What is she wearing?
It was the same clothes that I said that I reported her wearing when I reported her missing. It was a blue spaghetti string lace top. Her bra had like 2 strings on the front and it had like leopard print or something on there. But other than that, it was black. She was wearing pink panties with white. Not quite polka dots, but white dots. And a pair of black skin tight, I guess, either sweats or yoga pants.
Black yoga pants? Did you say? I'm sorry.
Yes.
How about other items of her personal property? Do you know where they might be?
There were 4 bags that she came in with her. One of them was her purse. I put her phone in there. Another was a pillowcase that had a pillow in it. Then there was the Crown Royal bag with her drug paraphernalia in it, and a Dickies bag. I think it was like a dark brown or black canvas bag that had her laptop in it. And I took those and disposed of them each in a separate dumpster.
Around the complex there?
Yes.
All those items in one
No.
dumpster, or you separated
Put
them
one
in
in each, I separated them out.
Why?
Just so that if some evidence was found, that it wouldn't be all of the evidence. So if there was evidence that there was something in one of the dumpsters, I could have easily said that she might have just tossed it in there, or decided to toss it in there.
So basically to hinder the police's investigation?
Yes.
Okay.
Did you know that she was gonna be a missing person then? Is that something you speculated about?
I figured that that would be a probability.
Did you wear a condom that night
No, I
when
didn't.
you had sex with her?
No, I didn't.
Um,
And it was that
is
afternoon,
that
not
something
that
you would
night.
normally not do, or is that normal, or what?
It's something I normally don't do. She told me that she was clean and that she had no STDs, so I took her word for it. And
That was something you discussed with her?
yes, I mean,
Before you had
beforehand.
sex with her?
Yes,
Did she ask you if you were?
she did. I told her I hadn't really had sex enough to have an STD. And
So during the earlier part of your communication over the internet, she had made a statement to you, I think that you showed us, that she didn't want to have a relationship.
yes, that
So
she
what
was.
do you make out of now she wanting to have sex with you?
Honestly, afterwards it was confusing to me, but I think she was just doing that to try and manipulate me into buying drugs for her. And at the time, I didn't really think much of it. I knew she was depressed, so I just wanted to, I guess, if it meant that her using me for sex was going to cheer her up, I was okay with that. And I didn't really think that much of
Did
her
you do
not
a-
being in a relationship.
I'm sorry, did you do a tarot reading card thing with her that afternoon?
Yes, I did.
So that thing
That was-
you told us earlier did happen?
Yes, it did. And it was the same cards that I had showed to you guys. But it wasn't after we had had sex, it was right after we had got back to my apartment from Boston Market. I offered it to her and she accepted.
So this knife, it's wrapped in duct tape,
Yes, it's still in my apartment.
okay, and it was between the mattress and the wall, correct?
Yes, but it's not there now.
Okay. So where is your mattress normally in that room?
It's normally where it's at right now where it normally is.
So butted up against that wall.
Close to the wall, but not quite butted up against it.
Okay.
So you said the knife's not there now?
It is there now,
Oh, you said it is there now?
yes.
I'm sorry, misunderstood.
But it's not between the mattress and the wall right now.
Where's it at?
It's still in my room, but it's in plain sight. It's like right in front of the main section of my closet on the floor.
Does she have any personal belongings left in your apartment at all?
No,
Nothing?
nothing.
Can you still see the blood on the floor?
There's a light spot where the blood was from the bleach. And there is a blood stain on the mattress that I couldn't get completely out, but I did bleach it. And there's also on my blue pillow, there's a sort of part of the corner that's kind of crusty because I was stressed and I
Did you wear the
vomited.
blue blanket too?
Yes. That was what I covered her in to begin with. And then,
How about the pillow? Is it still there?
no, or which pillow are we
The
talking
one
about?
that had the blood on it?
One that had the blood on it? Yes, I did get rid of that.
Where
So-
is that?
Pillow's gone too?
If I remember correctly, it should be in the bag with the blue blanket.
Is that in the same bag with Lee?
No,
It's a separate bag.
separate bag. I used another trash bag for it.
And where is that? Where did that go?
It was, along with all the other stuff, I distributed out amongst the dumpsters in the apartment complex.
So if the same trash truck picked up all these items, then they're all in the same trash truck,
Yeah,
basically.
pretty much. And to be honest, I didn't really think that far ahead.
But these are all the dumpsters at your complex.
Yes.
Was she bleeding anywhere else besides her nose? And you said that there was actually blood coming out of her mouth?
Yeah, because when I was choking her, that was coming up from her mouth, but it was mostly from her nose, and then there was a little bit from her chest wound.
Do you know why she was bleeding from the nose?
Honestly, no, I don't. I think it's just because I was choking her, and the stress of her blood trying to get back down to her heart what caused the veins in her nose to rupture.
Did you ever hit her in the nose to make it bleed?
No, I did not.
The other day you told us you bumped into her with your head and
That was,
caused her nose to bleed.
yeah, I admit that was an untruth.
Okay, so, getting back to the knife on the wall here. So when you showed me that knife, it was wrapped in duct tape.
Yes.
Unless you even know what that is, it's very difficult to open. You had to show me how to open it.
Yeah, honestly, she forced it open. It's just held together by a little piece of duct tape. Then I replaced that duct tape afterwards. So it wasn't that hard to force it to go open.
Okay, real quick, what's your address? Where did this incident occur?
The address, as well as where the incident occurred, is 9141 Federal Boulevard, apartment 211,
And what's the,
Westminster, Colorado, 80260.
Why did you think it was a better option to not call the police?
Honestly, and even with people to vouch for my character, I thought the police would take the side of the police would side against me in that situation. Because
Explain that to me. I guess I'm
Okay.
having a hard time understanding what you mean by that.
okay, well, there's obviously evidence of an altercation which I cleaned up. There was evidence that we had had sex, which I did not clean up, but there was a knife wound on her chest that came from a knife that was found in my apartment, and she was lying dead on the floor in my apartment. There was no other witnesses or anything else like that, so I just took the leap of logic from there to think that they would probably take her side over mine. Because
You were pretty cooperative with the police all the way through on this thing. I remember every time
Yes.
the cops showed up there from the day one trying to say, hey, we got a call from a lady, her
yeah,
mom, wanting to know where she's at. Do you
Yes,
know
I was.
where she's at? You always let the police come in. Were you not afraid that they might see something or detect something? Or did you feel like you were smarter than the cops and you were going to get away with this?
I'm going to advise you not to answer that question.
Yeah. I'll answer it in part, but not completely. I didn't think that I was smarter than the cops, but I didn't want to. But I was hoping that I would get away with it.
So your intent was, by getting rid of the body, was to get away with this?
Again, I'm going to ask you to not answer the question.
I'll go ahead and take that advice.
Okay.
Chris, why were you choking her?
Like I said, she was it was heat of the moment. I placed my hand at her throat, but I didn't start off squeezing it. I told her, drop the knife and I'll let you go, I'll walk outside, you can leave. She kept on trying to cut me, so I began squeezing. So I was wanting to leave her unconscious while I disarmed her, and then I would leave her on the bed, and then I had decided that I would leave her on the bed, let her regain consciousness on her own, and I would be waiting for her outside in the living room.
And why were you, so what was your goal then?
As the altercation
So
was
as you're
occurring,
choking
or what?
her, and I didn't
Yeah.
explain that very well, I apologize. So you're choking her with the intent of making her pass out, is that what I understand? Or were you trying to kill her?
No, I was not trying to kill her. I meant her no harm in any fashion. She made her intent very clear that she meant me bodily harm, so to my mind, the best option was to choke her and just keep saying to her, let the knife go and you can leave. I kept saying that to her as I was choking her. She kept shaking her head no. And
So your intent
I
was to,
my intent was to let her go as soon as she diffused the situation on her end. But because she didn't, but if she didn't, I was desiring to leave her unconscious.
okay, so your intent here is to have her pass out so she can no longer harm you,
Yes,
but she'll still be okay, right?
yes, that
So
was
you-
my intent.
Your intent is her well-being, so to speak?
An odd way to put it, but yes.
Okay, so once you realized it, or you felt her go limp,
Yeah.
okay, and you laid her down, okay, and then you realized she wasn't responding, correct?
Yes.
Why didn't you call 911? If your intention was not to kill her, but just to defuse the situation, why didn't you call 911 and ask for rescue to come and help her?
I've been asking myself that same question over and over. I was in a state of full-blown panic. I was amazed that I could even open up the bathroom door without shaking so hard that I pulled the knob off.
Were you guys naked?
Yes, we were.
So during this whole thing, nobody had
Yeah.
clothes on?
Yes, that's correct.
And where did the actual struggle with the knife start?
It started and ended in my bedroom.
Okay, how? Walk me through how
Okay.
the actual struggle started and where you were
Okay.
at when it started.
Well, like I said, it was just after we'd had sex. We were basking in the afterglow.
Still on the bed?
Yes, we were still on the bed, and she was buttering me up to buy her drugs. And I said, you know, I don't approve of drugs, and that you know my answer to that is going to be no, right? And she went from trying to sweet talk me into just persuasion, then trying to coerce me, saying that I had, then from there, after I was still being uncooperative, started threatening me, saying that she would go to the police and say that I had raped her.
Had you gotten up yet, or are you still on the bed?
I had rolled off of the bed, but I was still nearby. And then after that, when I still told her no, that she could go ahead and go and talk to the police and tell them that I raped her, then she reached over and grabbed the knife and yanked it out and started threatening me with it, saying, I'll cut you unless you buy me drugs. So, at that point, I was up. I had retreated to the northeast corner of the bedroom with my back to it. I was facing her. She was standing in about the center of the bedroom. And
So she's off the bed now?
yes, she followed me off of the bed. She's still threatening me with a knife. She lunged at me. I dodged to the side. She lunged at me again. I dodged, grabbed, and
What was she saying during this time?
she was just saying, I need it. I need the drugs. I can't handle without it. without them. And after that, she started thrusting at me, and after the second thrust, I grabbed, and it's hard to explain what exactly I did, but like, say this is the corner I'm in, she grabbed, I turned to the side, she thrust, I turn again, grab, like this, twist around and step forwards so that we're both in the center of the room. My hand is at her throat but not squeezing it, and her knife hand is, the wrist of her knife hand is held firmly in my hand.
Do you have self-defense training?
We had some combatives training in the military, and I'd taken a couple of classes over at the 303 gym off of 80 Harlan and 92nd. But other than that, no. And I hadn't been to the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu classes in.
I'm sorry, the what?
The classes I was taking were Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Oh, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu?
Yes.
Jiu-Jitsu.
But I hadn't been there for maybe, I don't know, a year and a half. It's been a while since I've been back there, and other than that, I was beginning level when I got in there, and after I left, I was still beginning level. So I knew a couple of moves, tuck and roll, stuff like that, just basic defensive stuff. Then I remembered a few moves from my combatives training in the military. I didn't get any other certifications, just the basic drills that they have us do every once in a while, just to make sure that we're current with it. So I acted really without thinking on that part, to just bring it around like that. It was just, I guess you could say, instinct.
Because it wasn't very hard to control a 90-pound.
Yeah, it wasn't. Don't get me wrong, she was stronger than I thought she'd be, but overall, I had the height advantage, so it was not very difficult to subdue her to that point.
Did she make verbal threats towards you when she had the knife in her hands?
Only her intentions were to physically harm me if I did not go with her to buy drugs for her.
What were the verbal threats she made to you?
She kept on saying, "I need the drugs. You have to get them for me. I don't have any money to buy them, and I don't want to do anything else to pay for them. I just want you to go and buy them for me. And if you don't, then I'm going to cut you."
So she actually used the words, "I'm going to cut you"?
Yes. I'm sure she intended to, and based off of the acidity in her voice, I'm sure she intended on very deep wounds.
Did she seem out of it at all during this whole night or afternoon? Describe to me her level of coherence through this whole, since she showed up.
Towards the end, she was getting incoherent. I think that was because she was coming down off of a high.
So you think she was high when she got there?
I don't know for sure, but that would explain a few things.
Was there anything in her behavior that led you to believe that she was high?
She was being very manipulative. But I thought that was just who she was at first. But then after talking with...
How did her manipulation part of it have to do with telling whether she was high or not?
Well, she was being very insistent that I buy her drugs, and she was very twitchy, I guess is the word. She was very antsy, very twitchy, and
That was her physical demeanor?
yes, she was agitated, very twitchy.
What was
Very-
she doing?
She was crouched in stance. She had the knife in her right hand. Her other hand was like this. She was crouched and thrusting at me. The blade was really shaky in her hand. She was very irrational as I tried to rationalize with her to calm her down.
Okay, I understand that part during the struggle.
Yes.
When she first showed up at your place and you guys went out to lunch
Yeah,
at
it
Boston
seemed-
Market,
Yeah, it seemed
why did you think she was high?
Well, it seemed to me that she was coming down from her high because, the depression, she wasn't as twitchy, but she was still a little jumpy. When I was talking to her, when I came up behind her, after we got there, I offered her, a glass of water, said, here's a glass of water if you want it, and I touched her on the shoulder. She jumped at that. It was more of a very big twitch, I guess. Not quite like jumping up physically, but
Well, did you notice anything about her smell? Was she dirty? Was she clean?
it smelled like she had just showered.
So she showed up at your place like
Yeah.
she was clean?
She showed up at my place, and my initial thought was, okay, she's clean. It smelled like she'd showered. She had some perfume on. I don't know what it was. I don't know what kind it was.
You know she was wearing makeup?
If she was, I don't think she was wearing very much of it.
How was her hair fixed that day?
It was, she had like a hair, she had kind of a partial ponytail, I think. Either that or it was just swept back and held in a hairband, or not a hairband, but one of those little hair things. Not hairnet, but, just sits right by the ears. And
Her driver's license picture, have you seen the wanted picture, not the wanted, the bulletin that we put out with missing person bulletin that we put on her?
yeah, she had blonde hair then, but it was brown when she was with me.
So that's changed on her from the picture.
Yes,
She now has brown hair.
yes.
Hey, when you guys were making love, that was on the mattress in your room?
Yes,
Okay,
there was the sheet on top of it.
and you guys had sex on the bed there?
Yes.
Okay, and when you guys were laying there afterwards, as you were saying, who was laying where?
I was farthest away from the wall. She was closer to the wall.
Okay, and you guys laid there for how long?
Probably about 15 minutes.
And then for 15 minutes you guys were doing what?
We were just, like I said, basking in the afterglow. We were just minimal talking. It was just about the companionship at that point.
Were you guys cuddling? Was she just
Um,
talking? What were you guys doing?
We didn't really exchange much words for a while. Probably about 10 minutes in is when she started buttering me up. But she had her head on my chest, and I had my arm around on her shoulder.
Okay, so at what point did you sense that things were changing and was no longer friendly?
Well, the point that I sensed that things were changing was when she started buttering me up. I started having suspicions because she started doing excessive complimenting me excessively on just a bunch of stupid stuff. And it was at that point, after I kind of caught wind of it, that she was trying to butter me up for something, that I started getting suspicious. But the whole asking me to buy her drugs part still kind of took me by surprise.
Okay. And at what point did she grab this knife?
It was after she had gone from sweet talking me to just regular persuasion to trying to coerce me, then to threatening me. It was shortly after she had threatened to come here to the police station to report that I had raped her, that she pulled the knife.
Okay, now see, when you first started telling us this, you didn't mention anything about her saying that she was going to come here and report that you raped her.
I did in here, yes, but
Just now when we started
Yeah.
going over it again, but initially when we first started talking about this here right now, today, you didn't mention anything about this. What did I tell you the first time we talked?
yes,
What did I tell you?
that honesty is the best policy.
Right.
Mm.
The worst thing you can do is lie to us.
Yes, I know.
You're being somewhat honest, but you're not being completely honest. So if we're here and we're being honest, let's be honest.
Okay, and I'm sorry for that. I thought I told that to you when I was initially describing what had happened to you. So that was my mistake, and I apologize for that.
Okay, so your whole goal is to be very truthful with us,
Yes.
right?
It is.
Okay. You're not being completely truthful with us yet, are you?
Yes, I am.
You're almost there,
I'm-
but you're not being completely truthful with us yet, are you? And you know that.
At this point, if the questioning is gonna go further, I'm gonna say that you do not need to answer any more questions.
I'll go ahead and take that advice. And that is,
Good way to stop that line of questioning. Can I just throw out one more
Yes.
question? Is why did you redress her? I'm just puzzled as to why you
Yeah.
put clothes back on her.
I'm
Again,
Very-
you do not answer the question.
okay. I would like to answer the question if that's okay.
It is your right.
Okay. I felt like I'd already taken enough from her by killing her on accident. So I didn't want her dignity to be marred by her being found naked. I was trying to be as respectful as possible, considering the circumstances.
Did you think she was going to be found?
I knew that that was a possibility, and a very likely possibility, but
Were you wearing underwear that day?
yes, I was.
Right.
We took it off
When you
before.
had sex, you had taken it off.
Yeah, we took that and kind of came off before we got to the bumping and grinding part.
And you got up and you got dressed again.
No, I
I
didn't.
mean, at some point you get dressed again.
Yeah, that was after my roommate had come home.
And she's now in your bedroom on the bed.
Yes.
You get dressed. What did you do with the clothes that you were wearing?
Well, I was wearing the clothes that I had started out the day with. It was a pair of blue jeans and a old army issue tan t-shirt.
Do you know what happened to them or where they're at?
As far as I know, they're still in my apartment.
Did you wash them?
Later on, I did notice that there was a couple of drops of blood on the pants, but I don't think I got all of the blood off of it.
What do you mean by that? Does that mean you washed them or you just...
No, I just scrubbed it a little bit with bleach.
Where was the blood at?
It was anatomically, it would have been probably about in this area, but
And would that be a pair of blue jeans like what you're wearing right now?
yes,
Same look to them?
yes.
How'd the blood get on your pants?
I think it was from when the cut happened, because I jerked it up, and I jerked the knife up and away, so a couple of drops came off of the knife and got onto the pants.
So this is when she pulls the knife?
Yes.
Okay,
No.
you said you guys were
No, it
naked.
was after. Yeah, we were naked, but it was afterwards. My clothes were on the floor. She had she'd just gone lax and cut herself. I pulled up and away from her body with the knife, and I think that's when the blood got onto the clothes is from being flown from the knife.
Okay, so,
Clothes were on the floor.
Yes, clothes are on the floor.
Okay, yeah.
okay, so the clothes are on the floor and it just
Yes.
dripped onto the pants, is that what you're saying?
Well, there was some blood on the knife, and like I said, it was up and away, so I think it flew off of the knife and landed on my pants.
One of the things that I just went for, we're gonna wrap it up here pretty quick,
Okay.
okay, but I was trying to visualize how you were describing the choking and
Yes.
and what kind of mechanism you used. Was it your forearm, was it your hands? Describe for me how you actually
Okay.
choked her.
Okay.
Again, you do not have to answer the question.
It was with my hand, with my left hand. I had her right hand held firmly but not tightly with the knife, with my right hand as well. Then I had my other hand at her throat.
How much pressure did it take to hold her like that?
She wasn't moving her body around at all. It was just she was focused on the knife and I guess trying to cut me. So at first I had my hand just resting at her collarbone just to let her know that I was being serious. Then afterwards I moved up and started squeezing, but it was just gradually increasing pressure as she was struggling. And again I kept saying to her, I'll stop if you drop the knife. Just drop the knife and I'll stop. You can go. There won't be anything else that happens. I won't talk to you again, nothing like that. So then as she kept struggling, I kept tightening.
What's your dominant hand?
I left-handed, but my dominant hand is right-handed.
So you're pretty good with both of them.
Yeah, I kind of learned how to, and for the most part, I use my right hand, like for dribbling a basketball or shooting or stuff like that.
So at some point, did you ever have blood on your hands?
No,
Never saw any blood on your hands?
it was her head was kind of tilted down, so it was just dribbling off of her chin, and then down onto her chest.
When the officers were in there the other night, I'm sorry, they did some processing in the bathroom for blood,
Yes.
and there was blood in there. Did you go in and clean up?
Well, I took her in there to clean up the blood on her face and her chest, but I didn't run the bathtub or anything like that. I just, turned it on, wet the rags, then rubbed it, then got the blood off.
So you physically carried her in there and rinsed
Yes.
her off now?
I carried her in there and rinsed her off, but I only focused on the blood.
And you rinsed the blood off from where?
I'd gotten the rags like I had said. I turned on the faucet to wet the rags. Then I turned off the faucet, and this is the bathroom faucet I'm talking about, the one in the tub. And I cleaned up. She had some blood from where I'd left her. The blood had kind of touched on her forehead. Then there was blood from her nose and a little bit around her mouth, and then also some blood from her chest, from the cut on her chest. So I rubbed those down, and afterwards,
This is by the tub.
she's in the tub. I'm kneeling outside the tub.
Okay, so how was she in the tub?
She was propped up against the back, and her arms were, I don't know, probably about like crossed and resting on her legs. And after I got done, I took her back into my room and I clothed her.
Okay, so she was, when you say the back, what's the back of the tub?
Like there's the faucet on one end,
Correct.
then there's the other side. That's the side she was leaning back first against that side.
So her feet are towards the faucet?
Yes.
If I understand you correctly, and she's leaning against,
Oh,
Sitting
against the
up,
far wall
basically?
from the faucet head. Yes.
sitting up?
Yes.
Okay.
Did I understand you right and hear you say that you vomited?
Yes.
When was that?
It was shortly after I checked her vitals, and I started out on the bed. I'm just sitting on the bed, kind of rocking back and forth. Then I vomited. It hit the mattress, and then part of my blue pillow. Then after that, I didn't want to make any more of a mess, so I went into the bathroom and turned on the shower and got in and just was.
Why do you think you vomited?
I was extremely scared. Not just for me, but because of what I had done. Death is not something that I want to come easy, and I'm glad that it didn't.
I don't understand that statement.
Okay.
Explain it.
Again, I'm gonna cancel you not to explain the statement.
I'll partially explain it to the best of my abilities, but I don't want to go into too full details on that. One of my fears from my darker days in high school was,
Again, I'm gonna cancel you not to explain.
okay, and as I said, I'm sure you know about,
I'm gonna cancel you not to make a further statement.
Well, again, you've said that 3 times now, and it's his right to say what he wants
It
to.
is.
At this point in time, we'll let him talk, okay?
It's fine.
yes.
So you talk and tell us what you want to say.
All right. Well, when you were asking about the skeletons in my closet before, I wasn't sure which incident you were referring to. I had a journal that I had kept with, just for, I guess, therapy's sake, with the things I wanted to do but never would. So I thought you were referring to some of the pages from that, but after I asked my mom what you were talking about, then she told me the exact situation, or the exact.
So when we were talking the other night, we were talking about some fantasies that your mom
Yes.
had told us about that you had.
Yes,
And that's what you're referring to now as the prior conversations we had on Tuesday
Yeah.
night.
I thought you were talking about some of the stuff that I would like to do to.
You still write in that journal, don't you?
No, I do not.
You don't?
No, I have not had.
Oh, okay,
that
because
kind
we have people who say that they have seen you writing in a journal.
in a journal.
In some kind of, I don't know, maybe it's a notebook, maybe it's not a journal, I don't know.
Do you have a diary?
I don't really keep very consistently with it, but I just recently started one up. And
Where's it at?
It's on my computer, but I don't think it's saved. I'm pretty sure the file's still open though.
On your computer?
Yes,
Where's the file? In
It's-
Word or what?
it's a Word document.
Is it titled?
I don't think I've saved it yet.
Okay.
Did you write anything about this death on the computer?
No, I did not.
Is your computer password protected?
Yes, it is.
Would you mind giving us a password for it?
All right, it's capital A, capital M, M not N, N is in Mike. @ sign, lowercase p, and then 2233.
This is a laptop that's in your apartment?
Yes.
Do you know the make of it?
It's a Toshiba, I don't remember the exact model. It's the same laptop I gave to you on Monday. Or when I was here before. It's the same
You mean your
laptop.
iPad?
No, I told them when they saw the bag in my car as I was getting in, there was a laptop in there. They said they needed to take that too, so I gave it to them.
Oh, the one you left in your car?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah,
Oh,
we never looked through that. It was locked in the car and stayed in there.
oh, okay.
So,
So on this computer right now would be some journaling, or at least some, not journaling, diary type stuff.
Yeah, but I didn't do any
When's the last time you wrote in that?
on, let's see, I believe the 6th and 7th are the only entries in there. I was just starting it up again. There's probably there's like a tarot journal in my apartment, but there's no specific things in that, and I haven't written in it in a while.
so you have her in the tub. You're rinsing her.
Yes.
You rinsed her off. Then you said you took a shower. Where was she when you took your shower?
The shower, I didn't take the shower after I put her in the tub. It was after I checked her vitals, and I was rocking back and forth on the bed for a little bit, then I vomited. After that, I went in and got into the tub and turned on the shower.
Okay. Did you have sex with her after she was dead?
No. Ew. That's not even in anything of my fantasies even. And my fantasies from high school had gone pretty dark, and that wasn't even in there.
So you say that's not part of your fantasies. What are your fantasies?
I'm gonna say to, again, counsel you not to answer the question.
I would rather not answer that. But suffice to say that they were not that dark.
But they were dark.
In high school, yes, but afterwards, no.
Have you done anything like this before?
I'm gonna counsel you to not answer the question.
Well, I'd like to get clarification on that if I could, just before I decide whether or not to answer it.
Fair enough.
Are there other missing young ladies out there from something that you've had to do with them?
No. You can check with my superiors at Fort Hood, Texas. They can tell you I was very apt and on time and everything. I was never really very scatterbrained. I was very.
Did you enlist?
Yes, I did.
What branch of the service were you in?
Army.
And did you have how long were you in?
I was in for. I officially joined in June of 2009, but I had enlisted in the delayed entry program. So that was my junior year that I had enlisted, and formally I was entered into the Army June 2009, and got out August 2011.
Why only 2 years?
It was because of the nightmares, and the fact that the doctors weren't making any progress with me as far as getting a decent night's sleep and getting rid of the nightmares. So they decided to just go ahead and do an honorable discharge and let's just get him out of here. He's been good, but it just wasn't for him.
What were your nightmares about?
For the most part, it was about the what ifs of if I had done something in high school. And then a lot of the nightmares were where harm was physically coming to me. The most common one, and I'll admit I still have it every now and again, is this dream where in the dream I would wake up and sometimes I'd be alone in the room, sometimes I wouldn't, but throughout the course of the quote-unquote day, something would happen to me and I would die. But because they were they weren't really focusing on my psychological health, but my getting me to sleep. The drugs they were issuing to keep the nightmares down weren't working, and it was forcing me to sleep the whole night through in the night and having the nightmare. And normal people, when they have a nightmare and something bad happens to them, they wake up. Well, after the sleeping meds, even now that I'm not taking sleeping meds or anything like that, I still can't wake up from a nightmare. And back in the nightmare, I would wake up still in the nightmare, and it would happen over and over and over again until I woke up for real. Just, I would die in different ways.
What would happen in your nightmare when you would die?
I would, if they were stabbing me or whatever, everything would just go black, and then I'd wake up still in the nightmare, and the whole process would start over again. And most of the time it would be like a different, I'd wake up in a different bed every time in the nightmare, or different bed or different room. I was usually killed probably about 7 or 8 different ways.
Was part of what happened with Lee one of your fantasies?
No.
When we talked to you the other night, you told us about a couple of girls in high school that you were still angry at.
I'm not angry at them now, but I was very angry at them in the past, and when I was in high school. And I get it, they were just being kids now, but back then I was very, very angry at them, and I wrote down the things I would like to do to them in the journal.
And where's that journal at? The one that you wrote down all that stuff in? Is that something you kept?
No, I didn't keep it.
I'm going to counsel you not to answer any more questions about what happened in high school.
Okay.
Counselor, do you have any questions you want us to clarify at this point in time? Is there something we
No.
haven't asked him?
Not that I'm aware of.
Chris, is there something we haven't allowed you to explain to us that you feel like we need to know about?
Just my sincere apologies for lying to you before. Just, I was really scared, and I still am, but
Why are you scared?
scared of the unknown, I guess would be the right word. Because it's always been my dream to be on that side of on your side of the investigation, and not on the side that I'm on right now. So that's kind of,
Do you think what you did was wrong?
I'm not going to judge it right or wrong, but I do regret what I did, and I keep wishing that I could go back and do it over again to try and keep that from happening.
Do you think you should be punished?
I'm going to ask you not to answer the question.
Yes and no. Yes, because in my panic, I lied and I destroyed evidence, but no, not for her murder. And I'll accept punishment for her death, but not for her murder. If that makes any sense.
Well, explain it to me if you want.
Okay. Accept isn't the word. I would understand a penalty for her death because it happened and because I played a major part in it. But I had no intention or plan or anything like that in place to physically harm her in any way. So I don't really believe that I'm guilty of murder.
What caused her death?
Me. By choking her.
When did your nightmares stop?
They've kicked back significantly, but they haven't stopped. I'm most of the time, if I do have a nightmare, it's usually maybe 2-3 times a month.
When you were growing up and through your earlier years and even as you got to be an adult, did you ever have any head injuries?
Clothesline myself on the monkey bars, but other than that, not that I know of.
When you were a kid?
I was on a church mission trip. I think I was in 8th grade.
Ever been in the hospital or admitted for any kind of head injury? Trauma to the head?
No.
Do you have any medical issues that we need to be aware of?
No. None.
Diabetic? Anything like that?
Nothing like that.
Can you sit tight for just a minute? I'm going to get up and I'm going to touch base with somebody and see if there's anything that they want clarified or any other additional questions, because
I would like to use the restroom if that's
that
okay.
might be a good idea for you to take a break and do that. And I'll tell you, to be quite honest with you, we might, I don't know if our DVD's still going or not. I better check.
Excuse us.
You can come on in here. The restrooms right across the hall.
Okay.
Recording again.
One of the things that, and we went and talked to somebody's been watching this interview, and they just wanted, apparently we haven't been clear enough to get the timing down as to how long it actually took her to pass out. So can you try to clarify how long the choking incident went on until she passed out, and how long that you continued to choke her?
I can't say for sure when she passed out, but I think it was probably about 3 or 4 minutes.
Okay.
So you were choking her for 3 to 4 minutes, roughly?
Roughly, yes.
After she passed out, did you continue to hold on to her for a while?
Well, like I said, I didn't realize she had passed out until her muscles relaxed. So I guess the answer to that would have to be yes.
Okay. And when I came in here just a second ago, you said that there were some things you wanted to
Yeah.
add to this. Now, before I forget that, and before
Yeah.
we not give you that opportunity, I just want to give you the opportunity to add whatever you want to.
It's just that overall, I lived my life as not really emotionless as possible, but not very touchy-feely either. It's not that I don't feel emotion, but I keep a very tight rein on it. And at my grandmother's funeral, I probably cried maybe 4 or 5 tears total. And even with all the touchy-feely speeches and stuff at my brother's wedding, I didn't even shed a tear. So just I wanted to notify you of that I have emotion, but I keep a tight chain on it. Because about the only emotion that I find any sort of value in is loyalty to friends, to family, stuff like that.
I think you had something. Was that it?
Then I also had a request. I know it's kind of strange, but in my apartment there is a notebook by the bed. There's some pages that are hiding under it that have been ripped out. If it's possible, I'd like to have those mailed to my parents. Just kind of explaining to them.
Are your parents together?
Yes.
Still married?
Yes, they are.
And their names?
Their names are Philip and Vicky Waide.
What's your address?
Cotopaxi, Colorado. That's spelled Cotopaxi. Paxi. 81223.
Is that the house you grew up in?
We moved there about my 7th grade year from California, but that's where I did most of my growing up. And
So Colorado, that's where you lived?
yeah, for the most part.
Do your parents know what you're doing tonight?
No, they don't. But they know that I had they knew that I had something that I was waiting on coming forward to you about, and that's just a note kind of explaining myself to them. So, I mean, you can send along a note yourself saying that should be kept under wraps, but
Is Jesse, your roommate, still up there?
He's-
Is he staying in the apartment?
he's staying in the apartment, but he decided to go and stay with friends.
So is there anybody in there now?
No, there isn't. It's currently locked. My apartment key is on my keychain.
Did the cops take that from you when they came
Yes.
in here?
It was when they were first called out to the park. They emptied my pockets and everything there.
And I don't remember if I asked you or not, but did you call our police dispatcher?
No, I did not.
Oh, you didn't?
I did not. Someone else called and then I got on the phone.
Oh, okay. Did you talk to our police dispatcher?
Yes, I did,
Okay.
but I did not call.
What did
Who
you
called?
tell them? I'm sorry.
I told them that I don't remember my exact words, but I told them that that I was responsible for her disappearance and that I was willing to cooperate fully and turn myself in.
Okay. Would it surprise you that exactly what you said is I would like to confess to a murder? That's exactly what you said, because I heard the recording.
That's not surprising, but
Why is that not surprising?
it was a very emotionally tense moment. There was a lot going on, so
Is that what you did?
if it's on the recording, then I must have.
Okay, but that's what you did?
I did not murder her.
So when you came here to speak with us of
Yes.
your own free will, like you said, as you've been speaking to us, your account of what has happened has continued to evolve and change. Okay? Is there anything that you haven't told us that you feel you still need to tell us, or something that you've told us that you wish to change?
And again, I'll counsel you not to answer.
No, there's nothing else. That's everything, and that is the whole truth.
We started our interview with you this evening at 8:26 p.m. It's now 10:28 p.m. We are going to conclude our interview with you,
Okay,
okay? You are going to be taken into custody.
I understand. And I will
And
cooperate.
You'll be taken to the Adams County Jail, or you'll be held, okay?
I understand.
The exact charges, right now, we are going to go discuss that with our district attorney.
Okay,
And once we've decided on the charges, you'll be booked under those charges here at our police department and transported up there within the next couple hours.
I understand.
Is there anything that you would like to request right now from us before we go through that process?
No, the only request I had was that my parents be mailed that note. And should be like 3 or 4 loose pages. But other than that, I have no other requests to make other than that you keep in mind my decision not to lead an overly emotional life.
Is there, real quick, I'm sorry, is there anything in your apartment that would hurt us?
There,
Any weapons lying around or something?
I believe it's on the top shelf. There's a knife up there that does not have a sheath. I know it's in my closet. I think it's on the top shelf. But other than that, there's a katana in there that has its sheath and sitting right beside my bedroom door. And then there's the duct tape knife, which is in its sheath.
Okay, no other weapons, no booby traps, nothing like that?
Nothing like that.
Okay, thank you.
Where's the bleach you used? Is it still in there, or did you?
It's still in there. It's still in there. It's under the it's under the sink outside the bathroom.
Was there anything ever transported in your car?
No.
Okay. I guess at this time, we're gonna go ahead and conclude our interview. We are gonna escort your attorney out of our building.
Okay.
Do you need to spend any more time with him before we, do you need any more time with him before we go?
Is there anything additional that if you need to tell me to inform your parents or anyone else, then this would be the time to do it?
Okay. A couple of things I would like to talk to you about.
Well, spend a few more minutes with him?
Yes,
Okay, I'm
please.
gonna shut our recording, I keep calling it tape because I'm old time, but,
Okay.
DVD, but I'm gonna shut our recording device off. You okay with that?
Absolutely, it's 22:30.